Mine's not as clean as yours anymore.
Mine is so white.
It's almost like unwrapping a present for Christmas. It's always a surprise.
I think the first thing that I pick up on is the sound, because I love music. So it almost sounds like they're singing to me in that way.
Can you hear the bees? Now, when the bees start getting upset, they ramp that zooming that you hear, they ramp it up. Can you hear that? That's upset bees.
People still question me, like, what? They look at me twice, like, are you a beekeeper? But I'm like, yeah, very proud one. I love that it throws people off a little bit, because they see me in my hijab, like, aren't you scared? Just like, well, they're not that scary. It's just about understanding how they work, and they are so fascinating. There's a statement that many people make, is that for every 3 bites we take, we have to thank a bee, because they're very huge pollinators within our ecosystems, within our food systems. They deserve as much respect as the farmers and everyone else along the value chain do. So often people will say, save the bees, but we should actually be saying, grow forage, plant forage, so that bees can, feed. So it's not so much that we have a shortage of bees, it's the fact that we have a shortage of forage.
Because we often think, well, it's just available all the time, but there are actually certain times that it's there and that it isn't. The key about forage is that it is seasonal. The only way for us to sustain our bees is to make sure that there is a variety of species for them to forage on throughout the year. These grasses and the sedges, they do collect quite a bit of pollen from them.
There's quite a bit of this growing in this area.
I call them puffballs, but they also have very, very nice pollen on them. In order to maintain my beehives, the only way to do that is by having landowners that are willing to allow me to have bees on their property. The important part is that there's enough food for them to eat.
Accessing land with adequate forage that is available for the bees throughout the year can be a challenge for beekeepers. Hence the encouragement of commercial scale farmers who do work with beekeepers to plant more forage, or to allow the beekeepers to do that themselves. So where we're standing now, these eucalyptus trees is ideal for them.
We do have to be careful. On the one hand, yes, plant, but educate yourself on what it is that you're planting. You don't want people to end up covering their properties with exotic species.
Ultimately, everyone has a role to play to ensuring our bees can thrive. To the public, Google should be your best friend. Research what you can possibly plant. There's a lot of online resources that you can make use of.
Our long-term impact is by making sure that we're planting species that are forage for bees, and not just for bees, for pollinators in general.
In the end, we will go back to working more with nature to ensure that bees and other pollinators survive, and they're able to do what they need to do to give us what we need, and that's food.